Welcome to The Architect's Blueprint. Today we are digging into a really powerful idea called the logic isolation principle. Now this comes from the unreleased book, Boring Problems, Big Money. And we've got to give a huge shout out to the author, the ex-freelancer, for letting us get an exclusive sneak peek. This is some good stuff, so let's get right into it.
All right, let me ask you something. If you've ever spent hours, maybe even days, pulling your hair out over a bug in Google Apps Script that just makes no sense, you have to stop and ask yourself this one critical question. Are you actually debugging your code, or are you debugging your math? Getting that distinction wrong is probably one of the biggest hidden time sinks for any developer.
So the author tells this agonizing story about trying to debug a complex financial calculation. You know the drill, right? For almost 2 full days, he was just stuck in that loop, tracing the execution, checking the logs, hunting for a typo or a misplaced semicolon somewhere. And then the big aha moment hit him. The JavaScript syntax? It was perfect. The bug wasn't in the code at all. It was in the math. The actual formula he was using was just fundamentally wrong from the start. And this is exactly why it's such an easy trap to fall into. See, trying to debug inside the native app script environment is, let's be honest, slow and kind of opaque. You're basically forced to fight a war on 2 fronts at the same time. First, is my syntax correct? And second, is my underlying logic correct? A native Python sandbox is the complete opposite. It's instant, it's visual, and most importantly, it lets you isolate the logic so you can solve one problem at a time. So the solution the book offers is what it calls the logic isolation principle. And it's a really simple but honestly profound mental model. It's all about separating the 2 problems. You have to isolate the logical errors, is my math actually correct? From the syntax errors, is my JavaScript written correctly? It's like making sure your architectural blueprint is perfect before you ever start pouring the concrete. So how do you actually do this? Well, you use the Python first workflow. Step 1 is simple. Before you write a single line of app script, you prototype your logic in a Python sandbox. You can use incredibly fast and powerful libraries like Pandas or NumPy to test your algorithm against some sample data and get instant visual proof that yes, this thing actually works. Then, and only then, do you move to step 2. You take that proven logic and have it translated into optimized Google Apps Script. And really, this whole idea represents a fundamental shift in how you operate. A freelancer gets bogged down for days debugging syntax in the wrong environment. An architect, on the other hand, validates the logic in the right environment first. And the result? You save a ton of time, you eliminate risk, and you ship reliable, battle-tested code right from the get-go. So the real takeaway here is a question you should ask yourself. Where else in my workflow am I fighting the wrong battle? Where am I stuck debugging syntax when I really should be validating logic? Because finding those hidden, those invisible leverage points, well, that's what separates the people who just trade their time for money from the architects who actually build systems.